left the agency to become the senior product policy manager for misinformation at Meta. We just saw the other CIA guy. Can't remember his name. I always forget all these stupid names. Asshole. Who then said, "You're right," and I was at the CIA. We now see when the veil is lifted, and they're no longer forced to act as though they're unbiased because the FBI and the CIA still think that we buy that. They say, "Oh, by the way, no, none of that. Everything that I just said was bullshit." 2019, FBI's Director Dawn Burton became the Senior Director of Strategy and Operations for Legal, Public Policy, Trust, and Safety. Safety, where? Twitter. March 2020, FBI's Karen Walsh became Twitter's Director of Corporate Resilience. February 2020, Mark Zuckerberg called for more government regulation of social media. Why would he do that? Think about that. Why do the big boys always support Democrats? All of them support Democrats, overwhelmingly. Didn't we think that Republicans were the party of big business? Let's look at the donations from Zuckerberg, from Bezos, from Wojcicki, from any of these people, not to mention their employees, okay? October 2020, Twitter, Facebook blocked the spread of the Hunter Biden story. You guys remember that? Of course, whistleblowers said that the FBI colluded. We have December 2021, Dr. Fauci, I use that term loosely, colluded with Wired Magazine and Facebook to censor the Great Barrington Declaration. For those of you who don't remember, that was saying that lockdowns don't work. And by the way, now the CDC says we might have been wrong about a whole lot of that. July 2021, the White House admitted to flagging content to Facebook they considered COVID disinformation. And of course, that content was removed because they used CDC and the White House to establish their guidelines. Oh, and by the way, they got rid of the dislike button because there's never been a president, former vice president, more disliked than Joe Biden. Don't forget, February 2022, Jen Psaki was so comfortable in the authoritarianism that she encouraged Spotify on a public platform openly to censor what she declared COVID misinformation, or as we know it now, shit the CDC was wrong about.
So our hope is that all major tech platforms and all major news sources, for that matter, be responsible and be vigilant to ensure the American people have access to accurate information on something as significant as COVID-19. That certainly includes Spotify. So this disclaimer, it's a positive step, but we want every platform to continue doing more to call out mis and disinformation while also uplifting accurate information.
Now, I will give her credit. I understand that maybe she was earnest. She didn't want misinformation spreading. She even believes that the vaccine is 100% effective, even when it comes to her own family. Here's actually a recent video of Jen Psaki getting, actually giving her husband the 11th booster.
You might feel a little prick.
Two final examples. You know what? Look, what they do in their own bedroom is their own business. March 2022, ex-CIA data and intelligence analyst Deborah Borman joined Meta as a trust and safety project manager. And of course, the little mundane detail that in April of this year, the former Vice President Biden administration attempted to set up what was effectively a ministry of truth until the backlash forced them to close down. All references are available at louderwithcrowder.com, and very few of them, if any, are conservative sources. You can see it's Washington Post, it's Wall Street Journal, it's New York Times. Are you starting to understand that it's not about private businesses? They are the enforcers of the government. And this is the first time today that I can think of where they removed a winning current gubernatorial candidate whose policies and platform can directly affect their bottom line. A bottom line, by the way, that's padded through disinformation and dishonesty, which brings me to, I'm really glad, I believe we have her. She's back, Kari Lake. All right.
I can't believe I'm such trouble. I heard yesterday I got you banned, and I'm like, I was racking my brain going, what did I say? What did we talk about? Did I go there with something I shouldn't have? And then I just heard the clip. It's insane.
Well, thank you for coming back. I appreciate it. And by the way, I'm not upset at all. You can get me banned any day. It's okay.
How much is it costing you, really? I mean, is it a week or two off of YouTube?
Well, I will tell you, we've been demonetized entirely, for years. And so, Jill, that's a couple $1 million.
Well, it would be significant money if we were still monetized.
That's what I'm saying, if we were still monetized.
Yeah.
No, we're already demonetized, right? They said you're demonetized. This was a long time ago, and even though we didn't violate any rules, and so I said, look, if you want to demonetize us, that's fine. I don't think that I'm entitled to earning a living from ads off of your website, even though it's not really applied equally. But I said, as long as our content, is given the same playing field, and by the way, I'll make sure all of our sources are publicly referenced. That was kind of the agreement, and now, well, you just blew it all to hell. Thanks.
I think you touched on it, though. I'm going to be with Governor Governor DeSantis did. You're not going to take away people's freedom of speech in Arizona.
Right.
And they're afraid. They're so afraid of governors who are actually there doing the right thing by the people that they have to keep us out of office any way possible.
Well, I think there are a couple of things. I've sort of had to live this, by the way, too, and Dave is often the same way. We come from, the entertainment industry, and so there are certain shows where I haven't been welcomed because they're looking for a conservative whipping post, right? It's this sort of archetype. They go, oh, old, out of touch, white guy, old fogey. Well, I was raised in French Canada. I'm bilingual. It was a French, it was a socialist French province, and I lived out of my car. And I come at this from an entertainment industry angle. I have experience there, not conservative nonprofits. You're a woman, not an old white guy. You worked in media for a long time, and you are an outsider. And it's tough for them to just throw the stereotypes at you. So it's easier to remove you.
Oh, they have to. I mean, they don't know what to do with us. I'm speaking to that elusive suburban mom vote because I am one. And, we have a Moms for Kari group that's massive. We are reaching people. They've been trying to tell everyone that the conservatives are the crazy ones, and we're the ones who are speaking the truth right now. And we're growing so fast, they're panicked. They made fun of President Trump, called him Orange Man, all that stupid stuff when he was really there trying to help America. And they're trying to find something to pick on me with, and they can't seem to find it. And so therefore, they just have to cancel us altogether. But the great thing is when you're canceled, it's even more freeing. You just kind of go, okay, I've already been canceled. Now I can really speak the truth.
No, you're absolutely. Well, if they can't make you seem, ugly and dumb, they'll just go with, oh, she must be mean. Right, she must be mean. She must be one of the cool girls. That's what they do. They go either dumb or evil. That's their playbook against Republicans. And by the way, it's KariLake.com. You are on Twitter at Kari Lake. If people want to support her, you can tweet.
I'm on Twitter now, but who knows after today?
Well, I don't know. We'll see what happens. I mean, I don't know if they can remove us for Rumble, but we'll do our level best. I wanted to, before we continue with this, because I wanted to talk specifically about our interview. You've been making waves across other platforms as well, particularly on social media, for some of your comments elsewhere, which, spoiler, I loved. Roll clip.
He's right up there right now, and his name is Governor Ron DeSantis. All right, I'm going to tell you a little bit. I just got to spend time with him. Love the guy. Fantastic. He is gutsy. The guy has bigger... Okay. Wait, let me think about how I want to word this. My staff always says, whatever you do, do not say balls. So I'm not going to say it. That guy has a backbone made of steel. I'll tell you what he's got. I don't know if you heard of this, but he's got BDE. Anybody know what that means? Ask your kids about it later.
And by the way, I love that you're like, we can't say balls. No, you can say balls. You can't say, hey, maybe there's something untoward with the election. That's what we live in.
You're right. Just don't say election.
Yes, you're exactly right. Just don't say that monkeypox is, not a pandemic for everybody. And now they come around and say, okay, monkeypox isn't a pandemic for everybody.
By the way, by BDE, I meant Big DeSantis Energy.
Well, I know that's how you sort of look. You gave yourself a back door on that one, but you also said that Donald Trump has BDE, which my follow-up is, can you think of is there anyone else who might?
Big Donald Energy. Maybe that's what I meant. I'm trying to clean up what, the kids are talking about.
Yes.
And by kids, then it was funny, like Twitter went crazy. They're trying to create this controversy. And I'm like, oh gosh, you've got no sense of humor. There's no sense. They're acting like I'm telling people to ask their 4-year-old kid what it means. Remember, I have kids who are 18 and 19.
Right.
So I'm saying ask your kids, teenagers, older kids, what that means.
Right. Meanwhile, on YouTube, they actually have what is effectively softcore gay pornography that kids can access that is not even age restricted. But if you say, God forbid, the word balls, they want to act as though they're offended. They really are the shrinking violets now. They're the pearl clutchers. Can you believe she said this? I saw people saying, this is classless. I'm going, what are you talking about? Do you have any idea what these people have said? Not to mention, allegedly, some Democrats have had people whacked. That offends me more.
That offends me a lot right now, considering what position I'm in. Yeah. Yikes. Yeah, no. By the way, Stephen, you have it too. I missed my opportunity to tell you that.
Oh, okay. Well, yes. I refer to myself as Donald. and DeSantis, whichever one's most convenient. Let me ask you this. Were you surprised to see YouTube jump in and silence you from our interview?
No, they've taken down interviews that we've done, with OAN and other networks, and we contact them and say, what did we say in there? We talked about people being let go from the military for vaccines, for the vaccine mandate, and just bringing that up. Apparently, I didn't say what they wanted to be said. I said, this is wrong. We shouldn't. This is experimental. We don't know the full side effects. Now we're getting a better idea of what they are, and it's not good.
Right.
And so I've had a lot of things taken down. I even told my staff, let's just get off of YouTube altogether. I don't want to deal with that company.
Yeah.
They're un-American, and I won't sit here and have my rights taken away and deal with these people.
Right. And I think
I don't even want to deal with them.
Well, I think that's important to note because you still have some of these sort of, and I'm more of a libertarian conservative is how I would be defined, but you have a lot of these sort of big L libertarians saying it's a private company. They can do whatever they want. You and I both know that that's not true. We've certainly crossed that line. I wanted to go back to something you said, like Governor DeSantis did in Florida. Do you have specific steps in place that you would take as governor of Arizona? Would it be as it relates to Section 230 or the silencing of political candidates, making them legally liable? What do you think you could do in Arizona if you're governor?
Well, I had a nice conversation with Ron DeSantis, Governor DeSantis, when he was in town Sunday for a rally he did with us. And I told him I want to copy a lot of the things he's done. There's no need to reinvent the wheel. He's done put forth a lot of great policy that's helping the people of Florida, keeping their freedoms intact. And so I would look closely at his, I think it was legislation. Yeah. You caught me off. I'm not prepared right now.
No,
for this,
that's okay.
I'm going to go with it. From what I recall, because it was a while ago that I read this, there were some serious fees involved. If you censor somebody, the company, YouTube, whatever it may be, Twitter, this isn't just a $200 fine. This is it's a fine of thousands of dollars. You're not going to allow censoring. And I'm not talking about somebody who's inciting violence. We're talking about basic stuff. You're putting something politically out there that the, tech tyrants don't agree with, and so they feel they can censor you. It's wrong. It'd be like being on the phone. Everyone uses that old, the way we used to when we grew up. You're on the phone with somebody, you're having a conversation. The person at the phone company doesn't like it. They just disconnect you. Right.
Yeah, well, that's what I believe happens all the time. Whenever I'm having political conversations on the phone, I think I hear the NSA making sounds like the aliens from Signs. But in Florida, I think they're allowed, what it is a suggestion at least, I don't know how it's gone into effect yet, is that they can be legally liable, particularly if they ban someone who's running for political office. But they went one step further in if they ban someone for a political point of view. I agree with you. We don't need to reinvent the wheel. Look, like you just said, we all agree. Let's be clear about this. Even though we're on Rumble, we don't need to be, again, there's no concern about being banned. We already have laws that you can't call people to violence. We already have laws that you can't post private information to try and cause harm. The standard that these big tech platforms who benefit as public platforms and utilities that should be applied is the law. You apply the law, and there's no other form of censorship. I can't think of any other way to do it without it being just ripe for corruption.
Apply the law equally to all parties. That's what we want. So we'll find a way, but we're not going to allow the people of Arizona to have the freedom of speech taken from them anymore. We've got to find a way around it, and we'll work with the legislature to make sure that happens. I'm tired of it. And, you're right. They're trying to influence an election.
Yeah.
Can we say that word?
Yo, you can say it here.
This was great, by the way. Somebody wrote this. I printed it out because it was so perfect. Ballots missing, fake ballots cast, 100% turnout in nursing homes, some where the patients were comatose and they miraculously voted. Vote by mail stuffed on video. Fake plumbing leaking. Suitcases of ballots brought in. Election workers forced to leave. Trucks bringing ballots across state lines and then they disappear. Thousands of sworn affidavits testifying they saw cheating. Voting machines completely compromised and shown to be hacked. Corrupt Secretary of State and judicial branches making illegal laws. And it went on and on. Don't tell me Joe Biden won 81 million votes. Don't insult my intelligence. I refuse to have it.
Well, he won 81 million votes, but then YouTube had to remove the dislike button. Think about that for a second. Which reminds me, do you have a Rumble account yet?
I do. I'm on Rumble. Go there. I have a lot of great videos where I take on the fake news. Pour yourself a cup of coffee or a can of beer or whatever and watch, because it's pretty fun watching the fake news media come after me.
What is the account or the profile so people can go there?
It's Kari Lake, Karilake.
Okay, great. Well, we'll see you there. And by the way, everyone, the hashtag is Crowder on Rumble right now if we get this interview out there. And I would encourage everyone out there to disseminate this anywhere you can. Get the content up. Look, let your freak flag fly at this point. This is someone who's likely the governor of Arizona, and I think that's why they're scared. Let me ask you this. What do you think conservatives need to be doing if places like YouTube, Twitter, Facebook are going to censor them? My approach is we need to maintain a spot on that territory as long as we can to push back while trying to port as many people off of there so that we're not dependent on them. But there's no conservative platform that's there yet.
I stay with all of these platforms, even though I despise them. I despise Twitter. I call it the cesspool. It's full of bots and fake people, and it's just horrible. But we stay there, and we continue on, and we keep spreading the message of truth. And I think that's important. I think every time that you're on YouTube, you need to, mention Rumble. Get people over to Rumble. It's a site where freedom rings.
Yeah, and they've been around for a while too. That's one. There are a lot of other sort of conservative upstarts that say, "Hey, we're conservative and we want to do X." Rumble was a media website for a long time that said we're going to allow people to speak freely. And let me ask you this though. And I know that this might be a more difficult question for you than even about the election, because sometimes we have to be careful. We don't want to engage in friendly fire. But I will say, I have been sorely disappointed, okay, with a lot of Republicans. We know the midterms are coming up. Let's say Republicans take back the House, Senate, okay. Do you think they'll do anything about censorship in Section 230? Because I've been on a lot of phone calls and in a lot of meetings. Gerald well knows this, and nothing seems to come of it.
I think this go around they will. I love that President Trump is out very actively finding the candidates he feels will be needed to get some things accomplished. And this is why one of the candidates here in Arizona is so important to get elected. It's Blake Masters. He comes from tech. He's one of the good guys in tech. And I think some of the problem is that we don't have people in the House and Senate who truly understand the issue. So it would be great to get somebody in there who is America first and wants to get in there and delve into this and truly understands how do we undo this mess that they have created. Yeah. And we need to demand it. We need to be on these people. Once we elect them, I always say, hold me accountable. Yeah. If I'm not living up to the promises that I've put forth, I want you to go after me. You can call me out.
Yeah.
Got to hold these people accountable.
Well, hold on a second. You said call me out. Guys, she did not say call me, just to be clear. I would not check my DMs. Call me, just call. Yes, exactly. It's got to be awful being.
No, but the problem before, Stephen, is that we would vote and go, oh, great, I'm politically involved, I voted, then we go to sleep for 4 years or 2 years or whatever. We vote again. We've got a republic if we can keep it.
Yep.
As Benjamin Franklin said, we've got to be active all the time to keep this beautiful thing called America, which we are losing right now, which take every issue that's important to you. Inflation. I can't believe you can't talk about inflation now. That they don't want us talking about anything that the radical left has screwed up. Yeah. But think of all the issues that are important to you. And then above that, above all those issues, is the fact that we're losing our country. We are on the verge of losing this republic. Yep. That's what it's about.
And it starts with speech. Communist. It starts with speech. Every great civil rights movement and every freedom movement have, whether it was speech in the coffee shops or it was speech here, in the New World, it all starts with speech. Speech for civil rights. It all starts with speech. You remove that from anyone, whether it's a political class you disagree with or not. That's when you cease to be a representative Republican. You're right. Go to sleep for 4 years. Hell, I went to sleep for 4 minutes in Wayne County, flipped from Donald Trump to Joe Biden. I took a nap. Look, really quickly, this is where we would say piss off YouTube, so I'll let people see, but we're going to do it for free today on Rumble and Mug Club. So really quickly, Tim, let's just so people know what they would usually miss. Okay. All right, good. That's it. So we're doing it really quickly. I'm going to go to some questions here, Kari Lake. It's at Kari Lake, KariLake.com. Gerald, you have one for the future governor of Arizona.
I do, yeah. So I know you only have about 3 minutes until you have to get out, so I'll be brief and then turn it back over to you, Stephen. But every time something like this happens, people lose more trust in their institutions and the government that represents them. How, as governor, do you fight against that, at least restoring some trust at the state and local level?
I could use some trust.
Well, I think you first of all, you live up to what you promised on the campaign trail. And when you start as a governor doing the things you promised to do, like securing that border, going after the cartels, treating them as the terrorists that they are, when you start working with the legislature to shore up election laws so that our elections are honest, that's how you regain that trust with the public. I don't blame them. I'm pissed off and mad too. And that's why I'm in this. I jumped into the swamp. Believe me, I'd rather be doing something else. It would be a lot more fun. But we have to get involved. And so I think it's just making good on those promises and doing right by the people. That's how you restore the trust.
Oh my gosh! You used the word balls. Now you said pissed off. Meghan McCain's going to be tweeting about you from her love seat.
She's so mad at me. Megan, don't worry. We're going to turn Arizona around. It's going to be a great place. You'll maybe by the end of my 8 years, she will even be a fan. Wouldn't that be something if we turned Megan into a fan?
Yes.
I should mention, by the way, I have an app that I got a while back. It's just at the Google and the App Store. It's Kari Lake.
Okay.
Because I foresee the day when they do cancel me off of all of that.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of my backup if you want to go download that, put it on your phone. Like you need one more app on your phone.
Right. Yeah, you need one more app on your phone. No, but that's a good thing if people can go and download it. I believe that Dave, do you have time for one question from Dave? Or do you gotta, okay.
I do,
All right,
of course.
Dave, one question from Dave. Let's make sure that we keep it so she's a busy lady. She's going to be governor of Arizona.
Well, I know that.
Yeah.
Well, if Hillary doesn't kill her. Yeah. But it's but it's serious. Like, what is your biggest concern right now with within your own party? Not people against you or anything, but obviously there's bad, people inside. Is there anything that you'd like to correct within your own party that you see as a problem?
I mean, where do I begin on that? Well, I'm really, I truly do want to bring this party together.
Yeah.
I'm of the, America First movement, right?
Yeah.
But there are a lot of people who are traditional Republicans, and we agree on 90%, 95% of everything. I want to bring them in. I don't want them to feel that, hey, look, we have an America First candidate who won. Nobody else is welcome. No, we are the Republican Party. Yeah. And a lot of great ideas are in the Republican Party. We're watching young people come into the Republican Party. So I want to bring everyone together. I guess there will probably be people who just don't like, they're the never Trump types who don't like people like me. Maybe they'll kind of even warm to me. I don't see the real problems being in the Republican Party. There's a few things we can tweak here and there because, it's like a family, a little bit of dysfunction. Yeah. The real problems to me are with the radical left and what they've hijacked the Democrat Party. They're turning it into socialism and communism, and they are trying to take down America. That is the real problem. I'm going to keep my eye on that. I can deal with little differences I might have with people who are Republican, but what I cannot tolerate is the removal of our freedoms and our liberties. And I cannot tolerate the effort to turn this country into a socialist state or worse.
Well, let's add one other caveat to that. We also can't tolerate Liz Cheney. It's a big tent, but we're not going to let Liz Cheney in by the hair of our chinny chin chin.
Well, and that's what I meant by the never Trumpers. Right. I mean, there's no changing someone like that. Yeah. The people who turned on Trump and said they were going to support Biden because they didn't like Trump's tweets, I don't know. I don't know if there's hope for them, but maybe they'll have an enlightenment, or they'll have a epiphany, and they'll wake up, and then they'll come over.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think they're seeking enlightenment from Buddha so much as just the change dish. Okay, all right. Kari Lake, KariLake.com. I know you're busy. You must go. Thank you so much. You can come back and get me banned anytime.
Okay, and I'm looking forward to seeing you in Phoenix.
That's right, September 16th. Everyone get your tickets now. All right, we'll see you. Thank you very much.
Excellent. Thanks, guys. Bye-bye.
All right, Toe Man, you can get rid of the color bars there. Sorry, I know we're kind of freewheeling this a little bit.
Kind of meant though was like by the never Trumpers if she was getting any pushback.
Yeah.
So I was curious.
Well, the Republican Party. I think you're just trying to say it's a big tent. And she's in Arizona, so Meghan McCain's there. It has to be.
Yeah, that's what I mean. So I'm curious. She's got her eye on the prize though. I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do too.
Sincerely.
The only thing I would say about the answer that she gave to my question is I agree. Like, but sometimes fulfilling the promises that you made in the campaign sometimes depends a lot on other people.
Yeah.
Right. So you can't always get everything done that you try to do, even if you give it your best effort and do everything you can. What you can do is be open and honest with people.
Well, you know what I liked too about her? What she just when I asked her about the Florida law, she's like, "Well, hold on a second. Let me make sure if I'm going by memory here that I have it correct.
Yeah.
I'm not fully prepared here
She
for this."
didn't BS you.
No, because you know what the truth is, you can't remember laws in every state.
Right.
I constantly mix up. Everyone knows this about me. If you watch the show, everyone, but I mean you who watch. I sound like Donald Trump. Everybody knows this because everyone knows me. No, I'm saying you know that I have an issue with names. Names bleed together for me. I'm like McCabe, Comey, Ray. They all kind of. So I don't act like I know. That's why. That's what I have here. We don't really use an actual teleprompter. I just have notes and names and numbers. So I make sure that I don't get them wrong, and then we provide those references for you. She said, hold on, I'm going by what I remember here, and she was mostly right. I think it was actually expanded where you can sue them beyond just the fines.
$100,000 fine per day. If I remember correctly, it was
that's
gigantic.
right. I think Texas was, so she was right and I was wrong. Texas, you can sue them.
Yeah, Texas was having the liability. I think Texas's law didn't get passed, or some version of it maybe got passed, but it wasn't the one that we talked about initially. And then Florida's, I don't remember if that ever got enacted or not either, but I know there were some challenges legally to that. So.
Okay, we have a few more stories to get to. And by the way, right now you're in Mug Club only zone, but it's free.
Yeah.
So
this is what you normally miss.
This is what you normally miss. And of course, you can use the hashtag Crowder on Rumble. Irritate the left with that. The left with that bullshit. And it's $30 off Mug Club if you use the promo code Free Speech for an annual membership. That's what keeps the lights on. That's what allows us to be uncancelable from YouTube. We appreciate if you join up and support or don't. Here's something I wanted to get to. Have you seen this? So we've talked about the FBI. Mm-hmm. Talked about the DOJ.
Yeah.
Bad stuff. But the IRS is worse. And they're not just worse because, they suck also. But it's the IRS. What you don't think of with the IRS is people with guns. Well, that's wrong. They do have guns. But they're really bad at using their guns. So now we have video of the IRS hard at work recruiting their army and training these unbelievable deadly agents. But this is the guy first setting it up, an IRS representative, and then we have the training footage.
We are the only agency that can work investigations regarding
Yakuza
tax
Casey, he has your exact
and
name.
other tax-related offenses. If you have an accounting degree mirrored or paired with criminal justice, that makes you very marketable in this line of work. We've seen many Ponzi schemes where the individual at the top of the scheme will be driving around a very nice sports car or a luxury vehicle, and he purchased that car with the proceeds of the
money
fraud.
he took from your pockets
and
before
when we
putting
can
you in a
go
locker.
and we can prove that asset
and we want
was
to take
purchased
that money,
with
buy a
criminal
really nice
proceeds, we're allowed by law to seize those assets.
Watch tomorrow. He's just riding Maybachs like skis.
Oh.
Like him and that pastor.
You can buy it at Sam's.
He owns a Segway.
Thanks to Dave's auditing, he has a Movado watch. Is that the brand?
Yeah, Movado, that's what he wanted. Shooting really low.
I don't know anything about Movado watches. Okay, so that's him letting you know.
Yeah, that is shooting low, but I bet you that's what you would buy.
Yeah.
I have not seen this, but apparently this is the training of the IRS, their new agents, and it's rigorous. Fat guy in a little coat.
Put that cookie down!
What are you looking for? Do you have any weapons on the wrong place? Look for action camera. No, sir.
His thumb is up behind the slide. That would be blown off.
Yeah.
Yes. Chubby redhead just aimed her gun at him. Nice.
Good job.
No one knows what they're doing.
They're going to accept.
All right, guys. He's got elbow patches. Take him down.
He's going to try and do a Stranger Things number 11.
He's got a members only jacket.
This is real?
I have a gun.
Look at that guy. Look at that guy, the way he's holding the gun. It's completely... Oh, they just remembered. I have to control this.
But that's because they're accountants.
No, I saw the account.
What is this? We're the IRS. You're under arrest. You're going to jail, buddy.
Is this real?
Allegedly.
Is this real?
Did we?
Tokenawan, is that 100% real?
It's confirmed it's real. 100%.
It's confirmed. That is actual training for the IRS. So they just decided, okay, we're going to add in 80,000 new agents, give them guns, and train them out behind the middle school gym?
Basically.
What? Do you see that guy? He's holding his head like he had a move. Like he's going to be like, all right, look, I don't want any trouble.
Yeah.
What are you doing? Hold on. This is going to be... Then he just shits his pants.
He just runs for the door, completely gets away.
Just the Wilhelm scream.
The one guy who would blow his thumbs off, it's like, yeah, shoot.
Yeah.
Go for it.
The next time they say we need responsible firearm training in this country, just say you first.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
You see him? He was holding his thumbs up, which you never do behind the slide.
No, I understand. It's silly. I hope that was not the end of their training.
Well, let me
that
get
was
this,
the very beginning.
this straight, though. Part of the woke thing is you don't want to use deadly force, right?
Right.
So you have 9 armed people on a dude with elbow patches.
Right.
Because
not to
he
mention
committed tax fraud.
Not to mention that fat bastard with the vest, the zipper together.
Yeah.
If that guy sneezes, it'll become a claymore.
Yeah, they're like, sorry, Dan. They stop at 2x.
They're going to accidentally kill so many people.
Aim for his fupa.
Or they'll miss. They'll be like stormtroopers.
Yeah.
Oh, gosh.
Just graze them. He'd have no idea. It's like, oh, shit, I'm bleeding.
Oh,
well,
wow, that's
there
weird.
are no nerve endings. It's just necrosis.
Oh, this is kind of nice. I got a free tummy tuck.
Awesome.
Save me some money on cool sculpting.
That guy sneezing got me.
What an idiot.
Oh, that's awesome.
That's real footage.
I guess.
Well, I guess it means if the IRS ever pulls a gun on you, just
Oh my God.
slowly walk away.
Ridiculous.
If tons of fun comes to the door first.
The way that
I
guy
can
was
outrun him.
holding that gun, you could just go, no. Someone just walks up behind him, hits him with a blackjack.
Oh
I
my
guess I won't be
gosh.
paying taxes this year.
Yeah, if he's coming towards you, just put a pie on the windowsill.
Just starts floating like Yogi Bear.
How do they keep getting away? I don't know. He's just covered in blueberries.
Yeah. Weird. Oh my gosh.
Yogi and Boo Boo has anal fissures and monkeypox.
That's true.
My anal fissures are swollen, Yogi. No, Boo Boo. You get monkeypox from lesions.
Yeah, so the picnic basket enough from when you fell asleep.
Yep. Let's put you in the picnic basket sex swing.
Ah.
It's getting really lonely out here, boo boo.
Park ranger just like, faggots! No.
It's like Randy Quaid on the horse and Brokeback.
By the way, that was an exact impression of the park ranger, in case you don't remember.
Yeah.
I apologize for nothing. Okay, we're going to take some chat here in a little bit. Is there anything that I should be mentioning, Gerald? I know I'm really bad at selling stuff. Like, I'm like, join Mug Club or don't, buy a shirt or don't. We would really love to see you go out, of course, to Arizona, September 16th.
We really would.
Yeah, yeah.
Seriously, come out.
Maybe Kari Lake will introduce you and, talk about your, you would qualify for BDE. Big Dave energy.
I actually would.
Big Dave.
I may not have everything like height.
Right.
But I got length, baby.
You got energy.
Great ass.
No, I think it's fine to say that we've got great merch for you guys to buy, right? So the stuff like
It's all right.
Dave and I love the
we love it.
stuff. It's pretty good.